Welcome to Uncaged, the show that celebrates thought leadership from today's top business leaders. The program provides a voice to amazing executives from around the globe who are shaping the world of business today and mapping the path to the commerce of tomorrow. Today, we are speaking with Tim Bielaski, another Tim. Tim, how are you, buddy?
Doing great, thanks. Good to be here.
It's great to speak with you. Tim is the Chief Operating Officer for Marleon Capital. We're going to talk a little bit more about what Marleon's focus around these days, but they are a company that focuses on supporting and making operations more efficient for construction-related businesses. As I said, we'll go into more detail there on the Marleon Capital story in a second. Tim, before we get there, tell us a little bit about yourself and your career.
Okay, well, I've been in management for almost 30 years. Coming out of college, I was fortunate to land with a Fortune 500 with a great kind of training situation. And that's where I got the foundations for, the business processes and all the things that I've been involved with the last nearly 30 years. I spent the better part of 20 years with a family-owned large private company. We were in the coffee manufacturing and distribution business throughout the United States. Pre-pandemic, it was a great situation. Obviously spent, 20 plus years there. And COVID changed that. So since the pandemic, my work has shifted and I've taken all the management and leadership tools I learned throughout my career. And now we're applying those at Marleon.
Excellent. Well, tell me more about Marleon. It sounds really interesting and sounds like something that we need. So tell me more about where you guys are playing in this space.
Yeah, so Marleon is a company founded by a few entrepreneurs, some folks I knew from my business network. So I had the opportunity to join them about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. What we do is we're a shared services management company. So we help smaller businesses in the construction and restoration space by providing strategic planning, budgeting, financial support, accounting support, HR, payroll and benefits administration. So what we're able to do is provide all of those services for a multitude of businesses so they don't have to do them on their own.
So it's really interesting. I mean, I love the idea of helping those kind of smaller businesses become more efficient. And tell me more about that, really in, I'd say, the context of, over the last couple of years, probably a boom that we've been seeing in that construction space, and now kind of where we are in the marketplace in construction in general.
Yeah, so what I've seen in my experience with these business owners is they're successful entrepreneurs. They built businesses to fairly decent size, and the scale of their business has kind of outgrown their capacity to manage it, and that's where we come in. We can come in and help them with our expertise and working for larger organizations to try to implement the best practices around different parts of the business. We don't certainly tell them how to do the construction because they're experts and they do a good job there. But what we try to do is we try to help them with all the administration, front office, to try to squeeze out more profit at the end of the day, essentially is what we're doing for these folks.
And Tim, I mean, how has the market shifted for those folks as we kind of move from, I'd say, at least it feels from what I see on the macro side, a boom time, and people were desperate to find any type of home or housing over the last couple of years to, maybe the recession's dampening the story a little bit. What's your take on the temperature right now?
So our experience through the pandemic was, I would say, unique just because many people were working from home. So they decided to take on projects. So yes, there was somewhat of a boom. The challenge for the industry has been around hiring enough talent to get the work done. And then also all of the supply chain and cost issues related to construction, which have really, compressed margins and made it more difficult to, operate at a profitable level. So it was a double-edged sword with the supply chain and materials cost increases.
On the supply chain side, has that stabilized a bit? I know there's been so many shortages on literally everything from
Right.
lumber all the way through, right? So
We do see some things returning to more normal timeframes. Costs have come down for some materials, but I would say pre-pandemic versus where we are today, we're still many weeks further out on most supplies that we need. So
and I mean, looking about those smaller business owners as they look into the 2023 landscape, we've seen obviously on the mortgage side, obviously interest rates have gone bananas. Is that impacting them as well?
absolutely, anytime borrowing costs increase, it impacts your ability to finance work and to grow your business. So you have to be very, very tactical and strategic about where you make investments. So it absolutely is borrowing cost does impact the business greatly.
So, Tim, I mean, I'm gonna ask you to play a little bit of a Nostradamus role here. So, as you put on that hat and you look at forward, tell me what's on the horizon for you guys, and as well as the construction and restoration industry.
Well, there's a lot of consolidation in the industry, which is exciting for us, and which is part of the reason we're in the space. We're always looking for those opportunities. It's creating a very competitive environment for us, which again, I think we thrive because we believe we provide a high level of service with excellent results. We feel like technology is going to continue to play a vital role as we grow our business and how we apply different technologies to the way we manage projects, manage our interactions with our customers, manage our interactions with all of our suppliers. So we do think technology is going to continue to play a big role. And then our use and embrace the way we embrace social media, so we can communicate to our current customers what we're doing in the business, and then how do we attract new customers using those platforms as well.
That's great. And I'd just be curious, when you're dealing with these businesses, kind of these small, medium-sized business owners, as they're kind of moving to that next phase of growth, that next size, do you find that they're open to really sharing knowledge across organizations, or how does your community work?
It does work, and it's essential, because what we find is that what one company is doing very well and another company may be struggling with, and we can cross-pollinate with the leaders in those businesses. And my role really from an operations standpoint is to keep those people connected and to take those ideas and spread them throughout these organizations, so that we don't fail over and over again. We learn lessons from each other, which I think is vital to how we can be successful managing these businesses.
I suppose maybe even you get some economies of scale, hopefully, maybe if you can get them to work together on some of this stuff, I suppose.
Well, absolutely, because if you have a centralized accounting function, you don't need 3 sets of accountants. If you have a centralized HR function, you don't need 3 sets of HR folks. We can put the expertise in one place, and it can serve all entities, and that's the idea.
Excellent. Well, Tim, I mean, I don't see construction or restoration slowing down anytime soon. I've been trying to purchase a property down here in Miami, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap to figure these things out. So that's a good note. But if someone wanted to learn more about what you and the Marleon Capital team are working on, where's the best place to find you?
Well, you'll notice our website is a landing page, and it's that way for a reason. But certainly they can reach out to me here through LinkedIn or through any other means. A couple of our portfolio companies are United Property Restoration Services in Connecticut and Massachusetts, so you could check those guys out. And Landmark Construction and Emergency Services in Memphis, Tennessee. There's another big one that you could check out, and those would give you a really good sense of what we do and how we do it.
Awesome. Well, Tim, thank you so much for being on Cage Day. We've been speaking with Tim Bielaski. He is the Chief Operating Officer of Marleon Capital, and we've been going through what Marleon Capital is working on, which is really providing management and operations support for restoration and construction related businesses. We're at a time where the construction industry is continuing to boom, 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 go, go, go. And finding any efficiencies is absolutely critical. And so, Tim, thank you so much for being on the show today, and we look forward to having you back.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Cheers.
Bye-bye.